All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Vigil Agency team call. I figured today would be a little light with the election and everyone getting on. I got a couple of phone calls from people that said they were doing their civic duty and they were out there being a poll worker. So um, it's no, not that kind of poll working, Matt. I'm sorry, I saw you laughing about that. Being, working at the voting polls, POLL. Anyway, so we would like to welcome some new agents today, right? We got Miss Bree who is joining us for the first time, and Jessica who is not necessarily joining us for the first time, but she is getting reactivated. Had an awesome day yesterday. Has another application in the pipeline as soon as Transamerica is completed for her. So we're excited for that. If Bree, if you don't mind giving us a quick intro, or Matt, if you would like to introduce her. And then we'll have Miss Jessica unmute herself as well.
Definitely want to super happy about Bria coming on board. I met Bria when I was probably 20, 21 years old. I was a waiter at Genghis Grill, and her young daughter were my regulars. And when I told her that actually I was no longer going to be a waiter and jump into the financial industry, she said, "Hey, I need life insurance." And in 2015, Bria and her daughter, who was like 2 at the time, they were actually my first clients ever in this industry. And it's awesome to see almost 9, 10 years later that now she's part of the family. But just super happy for you, girl. So I'm excited that you passed your test and you came to me, thought of me, and said, "Hey, I want to talk to you about an opportunity." And that's the other thing is, she had it already, and she called and said, "Hey, would you consider, me jumping on your team?" So 100%, Bria, man, it's long 10 years of friendship. Love you, girl. You're awesome. Super awesome mama, awesome wife. She's doing amazing. Congratulations, actually. She just got married like what, a year ago, I think. So super happy for you, girl.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it.
Yes, welcome to the team. Anything else that you want to add, Bria?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'm sorry. I have yet again another 2-year-old. So I'm just trying to entertain her at the moment. But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be working with Matt. Um, just always loved his energy. And back then he was telling me I needed to be an agent, but I wasn't about it. So I'm happy to be here now. And looking forward to getting to know all of you guys.
Awesome. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
All right, Miss Jessica, your turn. Miss Jessica came to us with Miss Valerie Seiko Peacock. Oh, and on that note, Matt, or not Matt, Mark, Val's husband, is taking his test this week. So this time he registered for the correct study materials, guys. So he did life and health. Last time he registered for life and he got a 69% on his test for the life and health. So, I mean, that's Oh man, missing that by 1 point, but that's pretty awesome considering he didn't have the health portion of the study guide. But yeah, Miss Jessica came to us via Val, and she's a good resource for those of you all in New Mexico as well because her and Miss Gloria are both doing Medicare, so they're great resources. So if you got someone up in the north part of the state, talk to Gloria. If you got anyone in the central part of the state, talk to Miss Jessica. Miss Jessica, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Yeah. So I was I'm a registered nurse, so that's what I've been doing most of my life for about 20 years. And then I got introduced to do this with Val. And after I took my test and stuff, things were I just kind of wasn't doing well with my health, so I took some time to be slow with this. But then I just started doing Medicare, and that I don't know if it just made more sense to me just because I have a medical background, but it ended up being pretty great. And so I'm just getting some clients going, and now with the AEP season, it's moving along pretty good. And with that, that's just opened up some opportunity for me to get some life insurance clients just by asking all of them for referrals and such. So I'm excited to start up with the life insurance because this is my first time doing that. And yeah, I just got my first application done and I'm real excited to learn more about it and keep it going.
Awesome. Welcome. We're excited for you. And we know that you got a good heart. So, I mean, I've talked with you a few times and I know that you just want to help other people. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then Jeff.
Yes.
Jeff is officially contracted. He's got his license and he is ready to rock and roll. We will be seeing him on Friday down in South Carolina for the Hilton Head boot camp. So if you guys have anyone near Hilton Head, what else is around there, Jeff, that people would be really
Savannah.
curious?
Savannah is only a few minutes away from Hilton Head to Savannah. Take you maybe 45 minutes at the most. Downtown Savannah is fabulous, very historic.
Okay. Yeah, anything within like, 2 or 3 hours. If you guys know anyone in that area, look it up and invite your people there. We're trying to get that to about 75 people. We're at 40 something right now, registered for that event. And I didn't bring a copy down here, but I'll be giving away some of the new books for tax-free living as well.
Two things, Michael. What's the dress code?
Business casual.
Business schedule. Second, can I bring my wife?
Absolutely. We absolutely encourage it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then we're going to be doing some appetizers and whatnot afterward. So it will be great just to get to know you a little bit better down there, Jeff. So officially welcome to the team. All right. So for today, I wanted us to cover the 4 cornerstones. And guys, I do apologize if my internet breaks up. It has been lagging all day. I reset both routers. We have 2 different internets, and I am still having issues with our connection. So I am going to share this here. And Miss Annie, did you say you're feeling better? Yes. Okay. I saw your thing there. All right. I always worry about you guys when you guys get sick, honestly. With my family being sick, I know what it's like, and it's never fun. All right. So we're going to cover the 4 cornerstones, right? And the reason for this, right, is because this is, the 4 cornerstones and the 4 keys to success are probably the 2 biggest things that we adhere to here, and the core values. Our core values are super important here. But the first of the 4 cornerstones, right, is believe in what you're selling. So close yourself. If you don't own a life insurance policy, get one. You can't sell what you don't own. It's true. You know what I mean? Like you just can't sell what you don't own. And the other thing is really understand your product, whatever it is that you decide you want to be an expert in. We have some people that want to be IUL experts here, right? We have some people that want to be retirement specialists. You have to take the time to learn your craft every single day. If you're not learning or growing, you're not dying. Or you're dying, right? Plain and simple. It's very easy to lose your skill set here within 3 to 5 days. Like if you're not in it all the time, and I'm going to use this from a Christianity standpoint, right? If you're not in your daily devotion every single day, you find yourself falling further and further away, right? So that's just my example, right? So if I don't start my day right here, right, in this book, I tend to have a bad day. And there's different things that take me away from it in the morning, right? I get up with every intention to read it, and sometimes, there's something that I have to attend to, like the dogs may have made a mess, right? Or, just something that happens in life. You guys know what that's like. You wake up and the ice machine is broken, so you have water all over the floor. So what you intended to start off with, you get taken away from. So I always make it a habit to try and break away from whatever it is, get back to my daily routine. So I would encourage you all to go ahead and set that up for yourselves. So this one here provides solutions to your warm market to grow your sales and establish yourself as a trusted partner. So guys, on this one there, if you're talking to your warm market, you can be that expert or that resource for them, right? You don't have to go to your friends and family and ask them for sales. Like this business, you don't have to do that. We have leads for that, but you can always practice on them. When I came here to Cemetery specifically for the mortgage protection side, I reached out to people and I said, "Hey, do you guys mind just listening to this for me? You don't, I'm not asking you to buy anything like that." And 9 out of 10 people didn't buy something. But there were those people that did say, "Hey, well, is this something that I can get? I just bought a house recently." So it's a good way to practice what you're doing in a real life scenario. Work and counsel through MAC. Do you guys know what MAC is? MAC is
No.
massive action constant correction, right? So the way that I've seen this illustrated in the past is like a pilot, right? Let's say a pilot's flying from LA to New York. Most people would think that they fly in a straight line, right? But they actually fly kind of in an arc and in a zigzag pattern. So they're adjusting to the wind. There may be weather in this area, right? But they're making small constant corrections and till they get to their destination. And the same thing happens here, right? So you're going to make mistakes. We all make them. I make them all the time. I wrote a policy on Sunday night. It looked like it was a good fit for the client. The client answered all the questions correctly, or the way that I asked them. When I sent it off, it said it looked like it was a very favorable for the client, and the client got denied, right? So I had to go back to the drawing board and figure out where we messed up or where I messed up, and then I was able to get that rewritten, and I'm in the process of doing that right now. But I had to go back and I reread the questions and I talked to the client and I said, "Hey, did you answer this question correctly? How about this one?" And then she was like, "Oh no, my A1C is 9.1, not 7.1." So that little mistake, right, completely made her ineligible for a certain product. The first one here you see on the work and counsel through Mac is make 200 to 300 dials each week. And this is a little antiquated. I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you're using bonus leads or dialing bonus leads, you're going to want to be 300 to 500 very easily. So you want to be making 60 to 100 dials a day, at the bare minimum if you're doing the bonus leads. If you're working, B leads or A leads, you're not going to be making as many dials. For full-time people, you'll want to set a minimum of 12 to 15 appointments. And that will yield you $5,000 in production each week. So I say this, if you set 12 to 15, you're going to sit 9 to 12. Set 12 to 15 to sit 9 to 12. And when you do that, you'll average 5-6 policies sold per week. Okay. I'm going to skip over the third one because we already talked about that. Share the opportunity with others, right? When you're sitting at the kitchen table or you're helping your clients, and we're gonna talk about, like, Bria is a perfect example of that. Matt helped Bria, right? And then Bria is now an insurance agent. I've got lots of people like that over the years where they've come to us after we've helped them. My best friend Mandy, who I introduced you guys to last week, she was a client. She's like, "Well, how do I do this? How do I come here? How do I build a team?" So now we have her on the list, right? Matt and I were referrals. We were friends first, but we ended up here at Cemetery because of that system, right? He was over there at Northwestern Mutual. He took me there. It wasn't a good fit for me. I came here. This was a better fit for him. And then, as you're developing yourself every day, I just got myself a new book. Which one? And I think I left it upstairs. It's the John Maxwell Fail Forward, right? So as a leader, I need to learn how to be able to grow as well. So you guys can do that every single day, right? Give yourselves 15, 20 minutes on the personal development side. Give yourself 15 to 20 minutes on the leadership development side. Give yourself 15 to 20 minutes on the product knowledge. Learn a new product every day, right? If you need to, or designate a day where that's what all you're doing, whether it's an hour every Friday or an hour every Saturday where you're learning a specific product. And then we're going to go to number 3 here. And this is the one I was just talking about. So read educational materials 20 to 30 minutes daily. For those of you guys that are new and may not have as many leads, you might spend an hour on that, especially when you're new. You know what I mean? Because you have more things to learn, more things to do. But don't get stuck in the weeds. Pick up the phone, make dials, associate. Make sure that you're associating, right? Make sure you're getting on the Smile and Dial room. So we have sfgsmileanddial.com. Password on that is dialing, capital D. And then plug into everything. So like I was just talking about, we got the event coming up on Friday. There's events all over the country. If you need help finding that, go to HQ, click on the events tab, and you'll be able to see what else is available. All right. And then we get newsletters and we get the emails from Quility all the time. I send out messages on text or WhatsApp as reminders for the different events that are going on, the different trainings that are available, right? Number 4, adapt quickly. So this one was something we had to do in 2020 when COVID hit. We were, visiting people in the home. And one of the things that we had to do is we had to learn how to do our appointments over Zoom or over the phone. And that was a really quick pivot. It only took us a couple of weeks to do it. And we were able to get that done, right? For you guys here, adapting quickly means learning how to work off of your own schedule, a schedule that you create for yourself. Because you don't have a boss here that tells you, hey, Jeff, you're brand new. You need to be on the phones from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock every single day. If you're not on there, you're going to get fired. Like, we don't do that, right? So we are here to help you, but you gotta take responsibility for that as well. So the other thing is, if you're not scheduling in your doctor's appointments or your different family events, those are going to derail you from your business. Okay. And what do I mean by that? Any little thing that comes up is going to become an emergency or a priority rather than your business. My son knows that when he comes home from school, he knocks at my office door, right? He'll go over there, he'll knock on my office door. If it's open, he peeks in, and I can either, I tell him he can hold on or he can come in, one of the two. But he knows already because, hey, dad's working. Dad's either you're talking to a client or he's working on an interview. And then associate with the right people. Guys, it is too easy in this business to be around negative Nancy's. And what do I mean by that? Someone came in, they bought 10 leads, they called 2 people, they got yelled at on the first one and hung up on the second one, and they say that this business doesn't work. Those aren't the type of people you want to be around. That is the minority. The majority of people that are working this business on a daily basis are having success. Okay. Communicate with us, communicate with me, communicate with Matt, communicate with Julia. Guys, we are here to help you guys. Honestly, just reach out, reach up, reach out for help. That's what we're here for. Don't and please don't do this. Don't apologize every time you reach out. Hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but guys, we want to be bothered. I can promise you that. I have been on the other end of it where I have reached out to someone and I was the person bothering them, right? That's not who we are. Trust me. I want you guys to reach out. Julia wants you guys to reach out, right? We want to be able to help you. We can't help you grow if we don't know what you're struggling with. We've all gone through everything that you're going through. I can promise you that. Between Julia and I mean, we've been through a lot of things in life. I was talking with someone today who's dealing with, a parent being in hospice. And I told her, I said, look, both my wife and I have had to be there with a grandparent through hospice. So we understand what that's like. We understand the heartache. We understand the amount of emotional energy that takes up. It's difficult. It is, and we get it, so let us help you. Make sure that you guys are allowing us to help as well. And just, always have it's not easy to have a positive attitude all the time, but you can try, right? I told someone yesterday, I mean, they were literally being very negative, not an agent on this team. It's just a leader on a sideline team. They were just struggling. Life is kind of just happening to them. And I was like, hey, take a pause real quick. Do you have a roof over your head? Yep. Do you have a team? Yes. Are you getting daily deposits? Oh, yeah. Like, embrace that. Enjoy that part, right? It's okay. Like, we're going to have bad days. But I said, put a smile on, change your outlook, And you know what? I got a text message from this person this morning. It's like, Michael, thank you for that. That's exactly what I needed. And sometimes what we all need is tough love, right? Sometimes we just need someone to say, hey, let's knock it out. You know, Matt and I have had those conversations. John and I have had those conversations. But at the end of the day, it's always in a positive manner. So open, honest, and productive communication. And let's try and keep it positive. All right. Questions, comments, concerns?
I just have one quick question. I spoke with you on our last call about the young lady from Merritt that wants to think about coming over. I spoke with her yesterday. She is very interested. So I'm going to text you her name and phone number so you can text her. Is that what you want to do? And then text her to set up an interview?
That'll be perfect, Jeff. Yeah. And then I'm going to send
Okay,
you a
good.
link as well, Jeff, that you can use and you can send to people as well.
Okay, very good. All right,
Yep.
I'm going to send that to you as soon as we're off the call, and then I'll alert her to for your text.
And if you guys have anyone as well that's looking to get into the industry or just wants to learn more, you can send them to joincemetery.com, and that's our team page. That's designed for you guys to recruit to. Just let me know who you sent there. That way, if they do register and we haven't communicated previously, that way I know who they are. So if they decide to come on board, I can assign them to your team. Because you guys would be surprised. Matt has had it, Jama has had it, where someone they talked to or they sent that link to didn't tell me, didn't tell Jama, didn't tell Matt, and then all of a sudden they're here, they've taken their tests and they're like, "Hey, I'm ready to join the team." And I'm like, "Oh, awesome." And they're like, "Yeah, Matt told me about it 19 months ago, but here I am," you know? And it happens. It happens all the time. I think Armando, you were one of those guys that just took your test, right? Without telling Matt. There was another one on Jama's team recently. I think it was Joel. He was like, "Hey, I took my test, I'm licensed, I'm ready to go. What do I got to do?" You know? But let us help you because there are discount codes for the study materials and things like that, and a lot of resources. And for those of you guys that are new or you're bringing new people on, we do have WhatsApp chat just for people in pre-licensing. So, you know, there's we put tips and tricks in there. We have other leaders from across multiple teams like Bo Hirschfield, Anthony Mendocino, Sierra Smith, Craig, and Angelica Trenkel, like all these people, right? They're all in there and they're all helping and encouraging and pushing them through. So it's in the handbook. It's the link is there. If you need access to it, just let us know for your people that are going into pre-licensing. Anyone else? Questions, comments, concerns? No? Super Communicators by Charles Duhigg is a great book on communication. Awesome. I'll check that one out too, Annie. And guys, trust me, I'm growing all the time too. Right now, I'm in the 5 Voices Academy for Leaders because I know that I'm one of those people that takes it personal if someone doesn't recognize my contribution. So if you guys understand what the 5 Voices is, right? I'm a connector creative. So I like making connections and helping people. I like contributing to the team. But when if I feel like my contribution is not felt or heard, or my voice isn't heard, right? I get hurt, right? Like that's my downfall of one of my 5 voices. So it's one of the things that I'm learning to work with and work through. And then I'm also learning how to work with other voices, right? Like with pioneers, like someone that's just we'll just say it, someone that's a hard ass, right? Someone that thinks they know it all, right? A guardian, someone that holds their feelings in, right? And they really they're more of an introvert, right? Or a nurturer, someone that really cares about others. So I'm learning how to have those different communication or work with the different communication styles as well. And that's something that as a leader we have to go through. Go ahead, Avi. Looks like you wanted to say something.
That's definitely those 5 voices, bro, is just kind of like big on life too. You know, I take it to even just I keep going back to football, you know. Football has really changed, you know. 20 years ago it was very vulgar and things like that of even if you did something good, You can't talk like that anymore, you know, to really anybody, even in athletics. So you got to learn within yourself on how to talk to individuals differently, you know, and that's it's just big in life, I think, you know, because you and I talk so much, man, especially with the things that I got going on, you know, with my mom and all that. You know, like you were there as a nurturer, you know what I mean? For me during that loss, like that was big. So it's just adapting, really.
And like for Matt, like guys, for that, like that's like my fourth voice order. So like nurturer is all the way down on the other side of the spectrum, right? Like and Julia can tell you that, right? Like I'm not very big on, you know, touchy-feely type of things, but I'm learning how to recognize when that's necessary. And even with my clients, I'm learning to be more empathetic rather than apathetic because I had been for so many years being in business. When you're in business for yourself, by yourself, right? I've been a serial entrepreneur my whole life, and I've always had to fend for myself. So I've always just been like a no BS approach. Jeff knows exactly what that's like, right? Like when
I mean,
and I mean it, you know, I can tell you, like, I'm sure that there's gonna be days where Jeff and I butt heads, but that's okay, you know, because at the end of the day,
I've
we're
mellowed.
yes, exactly. Tough love, right? So
No,
um,
I've mellowed over the years.
but I can
I'm
tell
no
you this,
longer.
Jeff, like had I met you 20 years ago, you and I probably would not have gotten along, honestly, you
Yeah,
know?
maybe.
Yeah. And I know that. I recognize that about myself. So but yeah, that puts us at the top of the hour, guys. I like to keep this one to right about 30 minutes. Tomorrow we will have a new agent orientation. So Bria, Michael, Jessica, if you guys can be on that. Armando, I'd encourage you if you can as well. I'll send out the reminder for that later on today, and then I'll send another one in the morning tomorrow. That one is, hold on, let me just look at my calendar real quick. That's why I have a calendar, guys. It is at 8:30 Mountain Time or 10:30 Eastern. So if you're in a different time zone, you can figure that out. 35, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. It could be up to an hour, but what are you guys laughing at over there? Someone put something in the
Hey, Michael, I'm step 6 up the summit, so halfway through.
awesome. All right. That means that you're ready to rock and roll. So I will be in the SFG Smile and Dial room. And Julia and I we got 5 more interviews today. I am going to say this about 7 o'clock Eastern. I am going to turn my phone off and I'm going to follow the election. This election has a lot of ramifications on our business, right? In general, being in business, when you're in business, you know, this has a lot. There's a lot riding on the business for us. And as a business owner who's paid over 50% in taxes before, I can tell you that I don't want to see I don't want to see that. So I need to make sure that I just want to, you know, follow the elections. And that's one of the things that we get to do when we're in business. So if I don't answer after 7, that's why my phone's going to be off. But outside of that, if you guys need me, just shoot me a text or give me a holler. Armando, I'll reach out to you and we can hop on Zoom in just a few minutes. Okay.
Michael, before you
Yes.
go, I just got a call from um, one of my clients, and she was asking, well, she was telling me that somebody had sent her a video about where Medicare Advantage is not going to be covering any in war or declared war or non-declared war claims. Like if somebody gets, uh, you know, that the Medicare Advantage is not going to be doing that. So,
There's a lot of
um,
those crazy changes that are happening that you guys need to be paying attention to. Um, it's a very scary world that we live in, right? Oh, hold on, let me do this real quick.